Hi. Yeah, my name is Diane. I'm founder of GuidedRAI. I have 5 years background as an AI developer. My background specifically is in data science and statistics, as well as AI ethics. I recently returned to school and got my master's at Elisava, Barcelona School of Design and Engineering, for a master's in design for responsible AI. And I started this project experimenting with Gen AI in product design in collaboration with Venture for Canada. We started a few weeks ago, 7-week project with five university student interns. And we're really asking the question, if AI makes things fast and easy, how do we keep our work feeling real, thoughtful, and human? And as an organization, we have the following values, which is preserving authenticity in craft, experimenting and building in public, as well as AI literacy, which I also define as like general AI knowledge and education in the sector. So, what was our project steps for exploring Gen AI and product design? Well, I conducted industry interviews in my research, and then I invited the students to build products of their own in any topic that they're interested and passionate about, but to record their use of AI throughout the product design lifecycle, and then share their work. So that's part why I'm here today, and also to share that we'll have a showcase in a couple weeks. But let me start with our main takeaways, which is twofold. Really noticed a need for AI literacy in the industry, and I don't only work with creative industries with my when I'm consulting. So I will say this isn't like unique to the creative industry, but improving general skill sets of Gen AI in creative teams will help teams make more informed decisions on when and where to invest in AI when they are starting to invest in an AI strategy, which is what I do as a consultant, and start to experiment, like, how does AI fit into our organization? And so on the topic of making more informed decisions, I think this also goes both ways. So as a product designer, but also as an audience or a consumer of products, process transparency resonates with audiences. And so what I've noticed as well is that, people connect more with brands who share their creative journey. And so I compare this to the choice someone makes when buying local or buying sustainable. It's like, because I know where the product comes from or how the product was developed, I'm then able to like make an informed decision as a user. Do I want to invest in this product? Um, I'll share a bit of my findings from the industry interviews. I kind of found that I was able to segment not individuals, but individuals in each of their tasks in this quadrant. And so again, this is about like deciding when and where to use generative AI in the design lifecycle. So I can share also the kind of industries that responded to our open call. We had a fashion designer, writer, publisher, brand strategist. There's content and marketing creative agencies. I think I might be missing some, but this is kind of like a broad range. Oh, and technical product designers. So kind of like a broad range of people that work in this space. But within each of their tasks, I noticed that they have a certain, in one of these segments, whether or not to use AI. They're either embracing it or rejecting it, and they're either critical or non-critical of their embrace or rejection. And so in the top left quadrant, those that embrace and are critical of it really shared with me that there's a need for ethical frameworks. And yeah, I noticed in the presentation previous with Jonah, you talked about building frameworks, so I really appreciated that. And then those that reject and are critical, it's typically based in morale. So one common example is someone who says, I've done research on the environmental implications of AI use, and so I can't justify using ChatGPT because of its land, water, and energy consumption. And in the bottom quadrants, we have those that are embrace it and are non-critical, which actually happens quite more often than I would have expected. But maybe given its novelty, there's a common theme of teams that are kind of like anything goes. I call this the Wild West. And you see it a lot in organizations before they choose to like invest in an AI strategy, for example. And of course, there's lots of risks that come with this approach. And then we have the rejection and a non-critical, which is most common, I can most commonly describe as, you know, someone who says, I've read a headline that AI will replace my job, and so therefore I reject any use of it, but they can't explain further a why. So in all of these quadrants, I would say there is areas for improved AI literacy to help people kind of ground their decisions better. Yeah, and I'll just kind of finish quickly sharing a little bit about what the students have prepared, and then also invite you to more formally take a look at these projects through our showcase. But yeah, I loved seeing the kind of passion in university students' work and in topics that they're passionate about. So we have an immigration support tool for international students. We have a data twin that simulates and predicts individual health risks that helps test interventions before trying them in real life based on private health data collection. We have CareFlow, which is a priority router and responds to natural disasters, ensuring electricity for critical infrastructure like hospitals, care homes, etc. And then the final two have to do with fitness and digital education. And so, like I mentioned, I invited students to develop their own products. They were sent to me by Venture for Canada, which I mentioned, that supports students in entrepreneurship. So this is partly why I said, build anything that you wish. But I also asked them to record their use of AI throughout their dev and building of the tool. So we could kind of combine the findings of the industry research, like what are professionals doing in the field, and then also like testing it on our own. And some preliminary findings, we'll share more in the showcase in a couple weeks. Is that, you know, there's the GenAI tools that are off the shelf and available today for design teams are typically decent for proposals and prototyping, but they still require significant human input and oversight in order to be production ready. It's many of you probably know it's quite risky to just put something into production if it's built entirely by GenAI. Our next steps, we have our showcase in a couple weeks. We've received notice that we were approved for funding to develop our work further. This is with a different organization, so we won't be working with students, but we'll work more with industries. So we're kind of in the exploration phase now as we close the Venture for Canada project and kind of move into this. It's called Taking It Global, Social Innovation. Yeah, do we want to build like industry learning materials, do more experimentations and collabs? Yeah, and I'm sharing my contact here in case I'll linked it in the doc as well, but thank you so much.